I spent $2 million on this house and it's not even done yet. It all started with the lot. The lot was around 10,000 square feet and it costed me $150,000. Now I expected to spend around $1 million to about $1.3 million doing the construction of the house, but now we're in for over $2 million. So what costed me so much? The biggest expense was the amenities and all of the fixtures. When you're building a house of this scale, which this is 6,700 square feet, you can't be putting in low-end amenities or cheaper types of fixtures, because if I were to go sell the house, someone who's looking at an expensive house like this won't be interested if it has cheap materials. So from the granite that we used to all of the porcelain tile in the showers, this started to cost a lot more money than I was expecting. Here are some of the amenities that we offer. We've got a shuffleboard, a ping pong table, an air hockey table, pool table, and even a poker table. And we'll also be installing a jacuzzi in the next couple weeks. And let's not forget the movie theater. The movie theater alone costed around $50,000, and that was me cutting a lot of the cost. When I initially reached out to companies to do the things like the star ceiling or doing the soundproofing on the walls, that costed roughly around $200,000. So I was able to cut costs by just making it a little bit more bare inside the movie theater, but it still costed around $50,000. So why did it cost so much? Well, the projector alone is around $10,000 because you want a high-end one when you're dealing with such a big home like this. On top of that, the couches and the furniture in the movie theater costed around $10,000, and all of the speakers and everything in the walls costed around another $15,000 to $20,000. So the movie theater alone was a big cost that I wasn't expecting. Initially, I thought it was just going to be a projector with some speakers, but when I was talking with other individuals that sell homes of this scale in this area, you can't be putting in cheap materials if you want to sell this for a nice price. I'm sure you're wondering why I spent $2 million in Big Bear, California of all places. Well, that's exactly why I did it. Big Bear, California isn't a high-end community, but there are a lot of high-end clients that aren't that far away that would like to come visit in the snow. So we've got LA and Orange County just right down the mountain, but there aren't as many high-end homes that appeal to those audiences. So this is one of the main reasons why I chose to build in Big Bear. The lots are a lot cheaper here because, again, there aren't as many people building high-end homes or building homes in general here. This is an area for people's vacation homes or second homes. So if you were to go to a basic town in LA or Orange County, everyone's building there because that's where they're going to live permanently. But in places like Big Bear or even in Palm Springs, people don't live there as permanently as normal, so these properties are a lot cheaper to buy, especially when there's no house on it. At the end of the day, Big Bear is a vacation destination. There are no shortage of renters because everyone's coming up the mountain to go snowboarding and skiing or just enjoy nature. When it comes to things like Airbnb or vacation rentals or just homes in general, when I put $2 million into this home, I'm able to rent it out, make an income monthly, and then go back to the bank and pull out my initial $2 million. Now that allows me to start a whole new project while only utilizing just the original $2 million that I started this project with. So how am I allowed to pull my $2 million out? Well, that's a great question. Well, when you're renting out a house and you're making, let's say, $10,000, $15,000 a month, you can go to the bank and say, hey, look, I'm getting $15,000 a month from this vacation rental. The house is worth anywhere from $2 million to, let's say, $3.5 million. And so the bank will do an appraisal on the house and make a decision and say, you know what, this house is paid off. Just like everyone else who goes and buys a home, they get a loan, we'll give you a loan. So let's say they give me a loan for $2 million, and on that $2 million, my payments are $12,000 per month. So if I'm making $15,000 a month here, Airbnb payments will actually pay the mortgage off for me, and I'll get my original $2 million back. So not only will I have this house being paid off on its own, so I don't even need to look at it, and in 10, 15, 20 years, this house will be paid off again, I will actually have my original $2 million that I can go start a whole new project with. This is why leveraging is such an important tool over putting your money in the stock market or into other projects. Real estate is one of those places that allows you to leverage your income in multiple places just from your first original investment. To determine how much money this house was going to make, we reached out to local management companies that manage Airbnbs in the area, and we asked them to compare this home to some of the homes that they manage. Now, the highest home that they had was a 4,700 square foot house with similar amenities, and this house is 67, so we're about 2,000 square feet bigger than their best-selling home. And when we asked them how much that home makes per month, it looks like it makes anywhere from $12,000 to $18,000 per month, depending on the season and the year. So we're expected to make anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a month from this property alone. Now, based on amenities, we decided that this house would rent anywhere from $1,500 per night up to $3,000 per night. Now, why the wide range? Well, weekdays are going to be a lot cheaper because people have work, and weekends are going to be more expensive. And on top of that, if it's snowing, this place gets a lot more busy than when it's not. So these numbers drastically change based on the weather conditions and the days. Now, the reason we built this house so large was to incorporate as many bedrooms as we can. And the reason for that is if you have 7 bedrooms and 10 beds, it's a lot easier for even people who can't afford this type of home to afford it because they're able to split it among larger groups of people. Based on how much we're going to be renting this out per month, I should be making my money back in around 10 to 12 years. Now, why is this so good? Well, if you buy a rental property, let's say again in a basic city like Los Angeles or a non-vacation destination, I'm going to be renting out, let's say, $1 million home for around $4,000 to $5,000 per month. Now, if we do a $2 million home, those rent anywhere from around $7,500 to $12,000 per month. So not only will we be making a little bit more than that with this home, up to potentially $18,000 per month, but the home will be empty around 50% of the time, which allows me to utilize it for personal reasons and business reasons. Another way I'm going to be recouping my investment at a faster pace is by utilizing influencer marketing. By allowing influencers to come here and create videos, I'm going to be able to book the house more often and thus make more money than, let's say, the average home in the area. Something really important to keep in mind is that if you were looking at 2 different homes on Airbnb and one of them offers one more object that the other one doesn't, let's say like a pool table or a movie theater, this can be the deciding factor on whether someone's going to book you. So by adding as many different amenities in this house as we can, it allows us to make sure that we're competitive to all the other homes in the area. So let's just say again, all the other homes have everything we do, but we just have the movie theater on top. If you're looking at roughly the same price, you're going to end up booking our home over their home because why wouldn't you? Especially when you're dealing with larger groups, having more options is really important because if one person, let's say, wants a jacuzzi and your home doesn't have one, that potentially might lose you the booking. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. We've run into a ton of different barriers, from extending the time we thought the house would be done to having the ceiling literally fall in on top of a bed, which if a guest was there, it would have completely ruined everything. And on top of everything, we're still waiting for the permit from Airbnb, which could take a couple weeks from the city. But worst case scenario, if everything hit the fan, we could still sell this home for a profit. After 30 days of being on Airbnb, we will check back in with a video and let you know how it's doing.